Welcome to Linda's TV show. If it is your first time, you like the channel, you like the program, subscribe and put on your notification bell because it's gonna help you to know when I upload a new video. Like you all may know, I present information across the globe, especially Nigeria to be precise, and I want to appreciate my viewers, my subscribers. You guys are so amazing, especially those who always tune in to watch me each time I upload a new video.
Thank you very much. Some of you have recollected. Did I say Abuja? It was in Ahaba. They met in Ahaba, not even Asaba. Ahaba. As we have a Habimeni as well. Across Urimuli, that some of you call, or should I say, the white man named River Niger. We are here to preach this very gospel. This very news broke very, very late. It wasn't my intention to cover it. But we are going to dwell on it very, very briefly before we proceed to the rest of the items we have for you this evening. For the very first time in living memory, the Southern governors met in Ahaba. The real name is Ahaba, A-H-A-B-A, not Asaba. They met in Ahaba under the auspices of governors of Southern Nigeria. This is the first time I don't know if they have ever met before. If they have met, please try and enlighten me. I'm not sure they have ever met before. And why did they meet? Because of the raging agitation in Biafra land and also in Oduduwa land. That was why they met. For people, there are some people that will be saying, oh, what? I'm sure that nobody is even talking about what have they achieved, what have they done. But I just want to remind you, should anybody ask you tomorrow morning what you have contributed towards the advancement of the betterment of the lives of the people on the ground, you say to them, courtesy of what I have been doing, the Southern governors have now met for the very first time. And I don't know if some of you read the article in Guardian earlier today. Guardian is even carried it. Do you know that there was a particular governor from so-called South that did not want to come? Do you know that Fulani Janjaweed gave one particular governor, Bob, the listening device, to enter into the meeting with? And I'm sure that you people have guessed right. You know who that very individual is. Darling Mrs. Anyway, but love is good. We'll get to that later on. He's in love. You know when you're in love with somebody, there's nothing you will not do for that person. You know how love moves people. He is so in love with his new partner, his new spouse, the new husband, that they gave him listening device, a bug. Tambuwal gave him a bug, a listening device to smuggle into the meeting. So that the Fulani Janjaweed will be somewhere in Kaduna, in Abuja and in Sokoto listening to the meeting. Because of love. And who can blame him? Hey, love one thing. Love is very deep. Mrs. Tambuwal wanted to smuggle a listening device. But if you doubt me, go and read the article. It's in the Guardian newspaper today about this very meeting. They will tell you. But let me go. When people do something that is right, I commend them. If you do something that is wrong, we shred you, we condemn you, we bury you alive, if need be. Of course, with facts and figures. They met today, they deliberated amongst many issues that were tabled before them, or issues of concern that they felt they needed to address. And I'll read it for you very briefly. They affirm that the peoples of Southern Nigeria remain committed. For the very first time, they're using the word the peoples of Southern Nigeria, which means that all the nonsense being done by Tinubu and his cohorts is in vain. For the very first time, there has been affirmation that the South is actually one. Since 1914, this is the very first time that they are stating publicly in a communique that the South is one by the elected leaders, so to speak. For the purposes of our program this night, we'll even call them leaders. Because they did well. I must tell you the truth. Now, let us proceed. And before who brought them together in the first place? One is our agitation. Second is the unity and union, the bond between the East and the West. Between Biafra agitators and those agitating for Duduwa, they have tried everything to break us. They could not break us. They had no alternative than to come together. Do you see what consistency does? This is the benefit of consistency. Once you're consistent in life, good things will come to you. And I also commend our Duduwa brothers this very day for their resilience and their consistency. That is why, for the first time in a meeting, in a place, you have governors from the east, you have governors from the west, Igbo governors, Yoruba governors, of course, together, saying something that makes sense for the first time in that I can even remember. The North, the Janjaweed will meet in Arawa House. They will take decision affecting the whole of the zoo, affecting everybody, and they ram it down your throat. You have to accept it. And where they found this courage, I have no idea. Maybe they are emulating what we are doing. They now understand that we have no fear before our enemies. They now understand that we are scrupulously clean, whiter than white and whiter than snow. They now have developed, or should I say, come to appreciate the essence of courage and determination. So for coming together, of course, I commend them. I do commend them, because they have done very, very well. During this very meeting, they affirmed that peoples of southern Nigeria remain committed to the unity of Nigeria. Of course, that's expected if you consider that they get their monthly allocation. Everyone wants to go to Asorok, so they will say they want unity of Nigeria. But they want unity of Nigeria on the basis of justice, fairness, equity, and oneness, and peaceful coexistence between and among these peoples, with a focus on the attainment of shared goals for economic development and prosperity. English, it has no meaning. The latter part of what they have written here has no meaning, because they've been saying this rubbish for very many years. Now, the second point on the communique states, observe that the incursion of armed herders, criminals and bandits into the southern part of the country has presented a severe security challenge, such that citizens are not able to live their normal lives, including pursuing various productive activities, leading to a threat to food supply and general security. Basically, they are warning Fulani, Janjaweed, terrorist headsmen, short for Miet Yala. They have now come out to say that they are concerned about the activities of Miet Yala. Consequently, the meeting resolve that open grazing of cattle be banned across southern Nigeria. In other words, if you see any cattle in any farm from tonight, anywhere in southern part of the zoo called Nigeria, you kill it. You are enforcing the law made, or should I say directive, executive order made by those that you claim you voted for to look after your affairs. They noted that development and population growth has put pressure on available land and increased the prospects of conflict between migrating herders and local populations in the south. Given this scenario, it has become imperative to enforce the ban on open grazing in the south, including cattle movement to the south by foot. Nobody should bring cattle into the south. In other words, Ruga is dead. Cattle highway is dead. Cattle path and cattle routes, they are all dead. From what they deliberated and came to conclusion to this very day in Ahaba. They concluded that anywhere you see Miet Yala with their cattle on foot inside your farm or anywhere, of course, in the east, we call Eastern Security Network, and we treat them the way we have been treating them. Why are they saying this? Because we took the bulls by the horn. We don't mess about all this nonsense. What they are doing, that rubbish. I'm not taking the rubbish. If we find you in the bush, you are bushmeat. You are gone. Both you and your cattle, you are finished. So now that gave them some liver to come out to say that we are now banning cattle movement. Number 4, we recommend that the federal government should support willing states to develop alternative and modern livestock management systems. And I wonder, why are you taking permission from the federal government? Was it not Osun State or whichever state in the west, in Yoruba land, imported 250 pregnant cows from the USA That one didn't, once they told the cow, you are now in Nigeria, the cow broke away from the crate. I wanted to run back to the USA. A governor was able to do it without permission. But these ones, of course, they have to bow to their Fulani masters. They are taking permission from the Fulani, their Fulani Janjaweed, as if to say that cattle herding, or should I say animal husbandry, or dairy products is the exclusive preserve of Mietiala. That is why you're going to the government to go and look for excuse to start your own cattle ranch in your states. Because you have agreed that nobody should enter into the cattle farming or rearing business unless you are a Fulani, unless you're Mietiala. Arrant nonsense. Pure bunkum. That is where I fault some of the things that they have said today. This one doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit. Why do you have to ask the state, the Abuja, to allow you to have cattle farms, or should I say, rare cattle, where you come from? You don't need permission from anybody. It is food for feeding of the people, so you don't need permission from anyone. Now, listen. They said they have agreed to progress we have agreed that the progress of the nation requires that urgent and bold steps be taken to restructure the Nigerian Federation, leading to the evolution of state police, review of revenue allocation formula in favor of sub-national governments, and creation of other institutions which legitimately advance our commitment to and practice of true federalism. Once again, they're begging for restructuring. That's what they're asking for, but along state lines, because they are governors, because they know that if they ask for restructuring along the lines of region, vis-a-vis the Constitution of 1960 and 1963, somehow most of them will be out of a job. Do you see how parochial? Do you see how selfish these people are? What concerns them is their office for them to protect it. That is why they are arguing for restructuring along state lines where you will not answer your name. Where somebody can say, oh, I'm from Rivers State, that has no meaning. I'm from Delta State, that has no meaning. I'm from a state that is named after a river, no longer the people. Because they know that if we ethnicize the identity of people in the zoo, our eyes, or the eyes of everybody, will open at the same time. They don't want to ethnicize it. What they want to do is to go with these same artificial boundaries, the same thing that the white man did. That is what they want to recreate. They want the entrenchment of the state system in the zoo in order for them to remain relevant and valid in office. And we are against that completely and totally. Now, these southern governors are recommending that in view of widespread agitations among our various peoples, here we come, we have now come into the play. Oduduwa and Biafra agitators, we are now in the game. They are now talking about us. Let us hear what they had to say. We recommend that in view of the widespread agitations, of course, by IPOB and Oduduwa agitators, among other various peoples, for greater inclusiveness in existing governance arrangements, the federal government should convoke a national dialogue as a matter of urgency. So we are now moving very close to that referendum we talked about, isn't it? Because once you pick up a gun.
Thank you for always watching Linda's TV show. I will see you again in my next video. Remain blessed. I appreciate each and every one of you, and keep on watching Linda's TV show. If you have not yet subscribed, please, I beg you to do that so that you'll be getting more updates from me. Bye bye.